5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, ignition.
They're pretty similar in handling, but the speed is much faster in Legends, of course, and the steering is pretty similar because it's pretty small as well. Like karting is small and Legend is small machine. But the speed is very fast, like 180 in the straights, and karting has 110, so 70 kilometers an hour. You can feel it. This is more fun because you can shift, and I like the speed, of course. Yeah, the karting gave me experience to drive this car. Yeah, this first season Legends, this is like fourth race I'm going to participate in. Next year we maybe try to drive all the Finnish championship, and of course Latvian races and Estonian. It would be amazing to finish in top 10 for me. That would be very amazing. I am driving in semi-pro class, so maybe get on the podium on that class.
It will be really interesting today. Both in the Finnish championship points and also in the nets points. So, and there also the guys are really fast today. I was now in the qualification, I was 5th in total. So to the first race I expect really tight race. 10 first guys are really close to each other, so it's gonna be really tight. I like this track. I have been driving here for many years now, but it's really challenging, and especially now when everybody's so close with the time. So there's 6 possible guys that can win today, so hopefully it's me.
I had a good lap. First lap was the fastest lap. It was planned to be just one lap who will be fast, and it did go well. I have to have 2 wins today. It will be hard. It will gonna be a good fight. I think it will be around 4 or 5 cars in the front, so it will be the last lap who decides who's the winner. It's a tricky track, it's fun to drive, but not so much overtaking places. That's sad.
No, the track really doesn't help me because it's the Finnish track, and it's It's track where you have to be very experienced about this track, and you know, I'm not so, and I don't feel so comfortable about that, but the track is for everybody the same, so we'll try to find some pace to follow the leader. Finally, it was more or less successful for me, so more or less as I expected, top 8, it was my goal, so maybe top 6, but yeah, in the final heat I reached the top 6, so I think it's not bad, and so we are keep growing, and I hope the next season and season after that, I hope I can fight with them for the top 3 also in this track. So in this season I was crossing the roads with the go-karts also, so for the next season that less go-kart, more legends, so I will try to compete in Finnish championship in legends. The season was more or less successful for me because I found some speed there, so I was, you know, in a couple of races I was pretty fast, so two first rows in races with the Finns together, so the speed was there. Yeah, in my tracks also in Vikernieke and Pärnu, so I have to find the speed also here, but it's, yeah, I'm coming.
I am the man with the heavy heart. The race was really tight. I did get a quite good start, and we had a group of 4 drivers that get a little bit loose in the beginning. Then in the last lap, the first and second guy back of the track, there was collision, so then me and Henry was the half of the last lap we did drive. I didn't have any place to overtake Henry, so Henry did take the win this time. It was too tight, he did say. It was too tight, but the track was nice. Riga was really nice track, Pärnu also nice. In Pärnu it was a little bit bad luck with the first race, but then this track also really nice. So I think in the end it was a good season and really tight. Also in the Finnish championship it was so tight for Henry. And congratulations for the 3rd win in a row. Thanks. If I leave, I will be there. Okay.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the E-BaTCC League of Legends Champion Round 3. We are going to race at the Sweden Knutstorp track, where only real legend car racers from around the world are going to participate in today's race. Hello, Karolis, how are you?
Hello, Laurinas. I'm doing pretty well.
So we are here to watch and witness another great racing, where the real drivers are racing on virtual Knutstorp track located at Sweden. It's 2.1 kilometers long, so it's a relatively short track, which you can see right now on your screens. It was built in 1963 and is a small twisty track with slow corners, but it has one long straight where we are going to see a lot of overtakings. The knowledge of the local drivers of this track is pretty important, so who knows, maybe today is the day when we are going to see some Swedish drivers taking podium places. We have seen some strong performance in the last rounds from Julian Shane and Andreas Antel, who are battling for the championship lead, and we are going to see how it goes for them this evening. You can see the drivers lineup in your screens. We have 26 registered drivers for today's race, and we are racing legend cars, and the technical info for you from Karolis' mouth.
So these cars have around 140 horsepower, and they are driving with engines which is 12 1250cc Yamaha motorcycle engines with a 5-gear sequential gearbox. They weighed around 590 kilograms with drivers, with driving on semi-slick tires, and these cars can reach from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in around 4 seconds. And these cars looks pretty old because this is replicas of 1930s USA cars like Dodge or Ford, but here today we are watching only Ford car replicas. And these cars is famous of drafting and bumping as they hit maximum RPM in the highest gears very soon. So that's all about the technique.
Yeah, so these little cars are very powerful, and they are not racing on slick tires, they are on semi-slick tires, as Karolis mentioned, so it makes them much more harder to drive. And right now, while the practice session is still underway, we can see that Julian Sheen is leading the practice session. He was very strong last week around, and we can take a moment to take a look at the standings after 2 rounds and 4 races in total. Anders Antel is still leading the championship, but only by a small margin. Julian Shane is running second and only 3 points behind, so he will be very eager to perform very well today. And the other drivers behind them are Marko Iljaho, Pekka Stepanen and Filip Miamois, so 4 Finnish drivers in our top 5 standings. We have 27 drivers that made appearances in this championship. We are midway of the racing season, so 3 more rounds are going to be raced after this one. So good luck for everyone racing here this evening. And one more request from all of you fans around the world. Please let us know in the commentating section which driver are you voting for, and maybe you know some interesting stories about them, maybe you know them or seen them racing in real world. As mentioned before, all these drivers are races from real world, and as the racing is under a break, we are racing in virtual racetracks, which are pretty accurate. They are laser scanned, so the drivers that race these tracks in real world should feel a little bit more comfortable than the others that didn't race here. The practice session has ended. We have a short break of 30 seconds, and we are going to get racing for the qualifying session, which is going to be 15 minutes long. And as always, we are seeing the guys pushing the limits and trying to be very, very, very fast and competitive. I'm thinking that we should watch for the speed of the Belgian driver Julian Sheen. He was astonishingly fast last time around. He won both races, so he is willing to repeat that performance here today. And we are underway. All our 26 legend drivers are out on the track, and they will try to warm up their tires and try to go as fast as possible.
And now in our screens, Mika Niemann, which starts his warming lap before his flying lap, and we are wishing good luck for him.
So that's a warm-up lap, and it's a pretty short lap of about 1 minute and 5 seconds, so it's going to be a lot of qualifying laps registered for these drivers. They can take their moment, but right now everyone is pushing. We see some small gaps between the drivers, so they are pretty relaxed and they know what they are doing, still warming up their tires and getting ready for the race. Let's find a let's wait for the results, and then we are going to find one of the fastest guys, and we are going to take one lap around this astonishing and very nice looking track located at Sweden. Data Kajaya, one of our Georgian drivers, is competing here today. That is his third round, and he is a pretty fast driver too. He has some stable results. Let's wish him luck for today's race, and let's watch him race for his first flying lap, although he has some traffic in front of him. That should not disturb him, but we will see that in a moment. A little mistake from Data Kajaya. It looked like he came a little bit too fast to one corner, and he lost his rear end, which should hurt his lap time.
And this driver has huge experience with these legend cars. He is 2012, 2013, 2014 Legends Euro Nations Cup champion. In 2013 he was Georgian champion, E-BaTCC 2015 champion, and he tried another cars like TCR in 2017. He drive international race. He is international race winner with TCR, and races in 2019 with TCR 2.
And right now you can add another check mark for the status of this driver. He is driving for the WorldSimSeries.com platform on Assetto Corsa simulator, running in the virtual E-BaTCC championship with these virtual Legends cars. So we have first results already on our timing screens. Julian Shane is continuing to run very strongly, and let's take one lap around this Swedish track with this very fast driver who was pushing a little bit too hard, it seems. He made a mistake. He's out of track, and he will rejoin us, get back to the pit lane, and try one more time, although he's pretty safe at the moment. Wow, a big slide from Philip Miemois. Nice car control, sliding all around but not willing to give up, so he's continuing to push his accelerator, and he is currently in second position.
Looks like he's driving over the limits. That's because he wants to jump into the first place, and as we can see, Lina's first, second and third place in practice was the same.
Yeah, so it looks like these guys are knowing this track a little bit better, or simply to say they are finding themselves a little bit more comfortable under the wheel of a simulator, which is not what every driver has experienced in their life. You can see them go fast, but not everybody is as fast on a simulator, because the driving of a car is pretty intense, I should say, when you're not sitting in your real little car and not feeling all the G-forces, but the physics still applies. There's some work to do, and you have to spend some practice minutes, or I should say hours or days or weeks, to be better on a simulator.
Yes, and this driver, Philip Niemo, is driving in 2019. Was driving in 2019, and he is first place holder in Finland and NES Legends Championship. So it seems he is very fast too.
Yeah, so all these drivers that are competing in this championship are real Legends cars drivers, and they all have experience, and they all have some sort of achievements. One have bigger ones, one have a little smaller ones, but all of them are very fast in real life.